Alright, in this video we are going to take a look at a French Berthier model 1907-15 rifle. Now this type of French rifle, there's several variations of it. I guess it was in the 1890s it was originally adopted. The 1907 was a change, and the 1907-15 was another change to simplify certain things. I think like the barrel bands and the type of bayonet it took were changed with this model. And this particular rifle was made by Remington Arms. Okay, now Remington had a 200,000 rifle contract with the French. When half of it was done, about 100,000 were delivered. The French said that there were some sort of problems. The guns were not to specification, and I'm not quite sure. One source says chamber, the rifling or something, and another one says the overall quality, it couldn't pass that. I'm not exactly sure, but they rejected them and would not accept them. So this particular gun probably ended up on the surplus market. Remington had a ton of them. And that's where this gun, I don't think it was ever sent to France or ever issued in the military. So, well, let's take a closer look at the rifle itself. Alright, well, the French made history when they adopted the Lebel rifle. The first rifle to use smokeless powder. I believe it's 1892 is the model. It had a tubular magazine, much like the German counterpart, and they found that that system was obsolete, cumbersome, hard to reload. It was more expensive and complicated to build, so the cost was kind of high. So they kind of were looking around for another gun, and they come up with this. They had their design. Now, it's a bolt-action rifle. It's pretty basic. There's no safety like on all French guns, and it's reminiscent of the old, French style. You got to take this nut out, and then the bolt will come free, and then the head comes out separately. Two-piece bolt. You have to disassemble it in the gun to get it out of the gun. And as far as magazine systems went, I guess the best one available, and the one that most people used, was it's a modified version of the Mannlicher style with the in-block clip. Now the thing is, the French didn't like the idea, unlike most Mannlicher style guns, of the metal magazine sticking out. So, the Austrians were the first to do it, then the Germans, both with 5 rounds. Then when the Italian Carcano did a 6-round magazine, the French, because they wanted this streamline, did it with a 3-round magazine. And that's so you get this pot belly without something sticking down. And there's your 3-round clip. Can go in either way. And then once the rounds are expended, very similar, modified version, it just drops out of this slot at the bottom. Okay, so there are 3 rounders. Now, like I said in the first part, there's variations. They realized that this was a shortcoming, and there are several variations where magazines were modified, turned into 5-round mags, and actually had the bottom sealed with a spring-loaded ejector for the clips, because dirt and debris would get through the hole at the bottom. Okay, there's a look at your bolt back and your magazine system. And like I said, it's just like any of the Mannlichers. You would feed the clip down in like this till it locks. Feed the shells, and then once the 3rd one was chambered, it would drop out the bottom. And you do have a button down here, which when you press it will eject the clip out. it's just a modified design. So there's the top. Now the only markings on this is on this side we have that. I haven't seen any other stamps or anything else on it. There's a look at the rear sight. Pretty simple, much like the Gras and that. French sights kind of didn't change much in style or design, very similar. And then you would flip it up and you have your slider here to go. Alright, and there's a close-up of the sight from this side. The graduations are on the other side of it. And your stock, you have a one-piece stock that runs the length here. And we have just a simple plain metal butt plate. And then I believe what they changed is they simplified these barrel bands for production reasons. There's your front sight, which is fixed. You can't drift it or nothing. And then the lugs on the barrel to attach your bayonet, and I believe it uses that round handle needle bayonet. I think that's what the change of this was, to use the bayonets off the older labels. So that's a look at it there, and we'll flip it around and take a look at the other side. Okay, from the other side, there's your sling swivel there, and then you have that round swivel here, little groove in stock. And like I said, I doubt these were ever issued. It's a metal butt plate. Pretty simple. Another look at the bolt. And of course, on this side of the receiver, we have the Remington and the model number. Other than that, this and the other thing on the barrel, I don't believe there's any markings whatsoever on this. The gun has had a real nice blue finish to it. And like I said, it was probably surplused out. Now there's your sight graduations written there on the side. Okay, and there's a look at the other ones where you would slide this down when this is standing up to give you graduations there. I don't know if something's missing. This is kind of loose. There's a spring or something maybe gone. So that's a look at your sight, and like I said, 2 markings, that's about it. Look at your trigger guard. There's your release, magazine release. Pretty basic, simple weapon. Actually, wooden, it's still nice after all this time, over 100 years. And there's a look at your front sight, your stacking post or swivel, whatever you wish to call it. Nice classic gun. This one was nice and clean. The bore looked kind of cruddy, but after I fired a few rounds out of it, it cleaned up nice, and overall it's a nice gun. But for some odd reason, the action was a little stiff on me, and I've had trouble with it. That's why I kind of really can't. I tried cleaning the bolt out and that. I'll get it up and we'll. It's a nice piece. So that's our overview of this French model 1907-15 Berthier made by Remington Arms. But like I said, you'll see in the video the bolt was a little stiff. And after I fired it a little bit, I took it, cleaned things out of it. There's grease and grime. The action, I guess, is tight. Maybe it was never used. I don't know. But they're an interesting gun. Years ago, 40 years ago, they were around. Nobody really converted these or anything. This is another gun. It doesn't convert like a Mauser into a sporting gun. So you used to find a lot of them that weren't really fooled with much, maybe cut down or something. But again, this is one, you cut the stock down, the barrel bands is all that's holding the damn rifle together, okay? You don't want to do that. But I used to find these back when I was in high school, 40, 45 years ago. And you still, gun shops still had Remington made ammo up to the 50s in 8mm Lebel. And it made it with the ring in the base, so it would go in the earlier style Lebel rifles. And I remember finding one or two of these. Like I said, I think I bought a little carbine and shot 5 rounds. I didn't have a clip, so I shot a few rounds out of it and ended up selling the thing, and then had the box of ammo for a while. So it was available, you know, or you could find, if you found surplus ammo, it was around still back in the 70s. You could still find it. Now I don't, you know, and the only people that currently are manufacturing ammunition is PPU out of Serbia. You can get brass, you can get loaded ammo and components to reload this. But this here is definitely a reload project, and in my next video I shoot some of my reloads with this gun, and it was fun to shoot. Once I figured out where the sights were set, I was able to hit something, or hit where I wanted to at 50 yards. Now it's a matter of taking her out and trying it at a longer distance. Okay, thank you and stay tuned.